Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football. Welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well today. This is your match preview for Luton Town. Luton Town versus Chelsea FC in the FA Cup 5th round. This is for a place in the quarterfinals, so whoever makes it through will be in the quarterfinal of the FA Cup, and then we start getting into serious territory where there's a cup to win at that point, and you can start getting that really close feeling that you're gonna get a chance at Wembley to try and win the FA Cup. Anyway, we've been there very recently. We were there last season. We were there the year before. We lost both, so hopefully third time lucky. But it starts tomorrow at Kenilworth Road, Luton Town, where we got to travel over there and hopefully get the result in front of a 10,000 capacity stadium. Yes, this is the beautiful thing about the FA Cup. You get to go to these sort of grounds. They're slightly more lower league. It has that more, grassroots sort of feel. I love it. I love it when we do that. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Before we get into the preview, I want to let you know this video is brought to you and sponsored by the OneFootball app. Make sure you download the OneFootball app. Link in the description for all of your footballing requirements, just like it is for me in terms of all of my latest news, my latest fixtures, results, scheduling, player stats, team stats. If I ever want to know about a player or a team, I head to the OneFootball app. It tells me everything I need to know. Hit that link in the description. Make it yours today. Download the OneFootball app and enjoy. Now, before we get into it, I know you guys were probably waiting for a Reddit Monday video yesterday. I couldn't upload that because of internet issues that I've had here at home, and thankfully it's resolved, but it kept going in and out and I could not upload. It's as simple as that. I just could not upload. So the schedule is quite packed because we've got FA Cup, then we've got weekend Burnley, previews, reviews, watch-alongs, all of that. So I will try and fit it in. If I can't, I will do a double whammy next Monday and make sure I fit 2 weeks worth of Reddit content in the video. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Let's get into the preview. Luton Town versus Chelsea FC. Now, this is, I think, going to be a little harder than what some Chelsea fans are expecting. Why? Let me tell you about Luton Town. Luton Town currently sits 6th in the Championship. Yes, the Championship. Not League 1, not League 2. We already beat League 2 opposition, and then we beat League 1 opposition. Now we've got to face Championship opposition. If we make it through, hopefully we face lower League Premier League opposition. Or lower Premier League opposition, not lower League Premier League. That don't make any sense, Younes. But Luton Town are playing really well. They've lost only 2 in their last 15 games. 15 games since November. Late November, they've only lost twice. So honestly, they look like they're doing quite well in the Championship. They look a little bit of a threat, and we're playing away. They're going to be up for this. They've got nothing to lose. The last time they caused a shock against the European champions was when they had to play Liverpool, when Liverpool were holding the European title, the Champions League winner crown. And Luton Town done a number on them. So we can't underestimate Luton Town. Especially with their form in the Championship right now. The Championship should not be underestimated, especially when some of those teams do end up coming to the Premier League and then they end up finding their way and they survive and they look themselves comfortable. It is a good league. The level is decent, so we can't underestimate. We've just had a game against Liverpool in the Carabao Cup final. Unfortunately, did not go our way. This is our chance to just forget it, look forward, try and go as far as we can in this competition. Hopefully, we'll be picking this cup up. But the problem that Chelsea have going into this game, and Thomas Tuchel in the press conference rightly pointed out, was the amount of injuries or the amount of absentees that we have. Mainly because of players that were already out for that cup final, players that have picked up injuries in that cup final, players that have just done an enormous amount and this game has come too soon, so they're going to miss out. We've got quite a lot of names out. So we're going to get into it. Before I get into the team news and all of that, talking about Thomas Tuchel in that press conference, I've got a little message to give here. Because this is necessary. The journalists that are attending these press conferences, and it's not all of them, especially the ones that are, in connection with supporters on Twitter and Instagram, like Nizar Kinsella and Liam Toomey and all of those lot, they're lush, they're great, they're fantastic. They head to the press conference, they know exactly what the fans want to know, they go in and they ask on behalf of the supporters. I can't really fault them for the job that they do. But you see some of the mainstream journalists that are attending, some of the other journalists that are there looking to try and ask questions. My goodness, man, let it go. The questions that Thomas Tuchel's getting asked are ridiculous. Like today at the press conference, he was constantly asked about Roman Abramovich, Ukraine, Russia, and what's going on.
As Thomas Tuchel flipped out, he flipped out, and I can't blame the guy. I can't blame the guy. He was absolutely clear multiple times in his stance and what he had to say on the whole topic, but there's not much more he can do. He's a football coach. He's not the foreign secretary, for goodness sakes. I don't see Priti Patel getting questions like this. I don't see Liz Truss getting questions like this. I didn't even see Boris Johnson, who was in Poland doing a press conference earlier this morning, getting the sort of questions that Thomas Tuchel's getting asked. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. He's a football coach. What do you want him to do? If you have anything in relation to what's going on in Ukraine at the moment, go and speak to Boris Johnson. Maybe he'll get an answer for you. If not, you can actually go and speak to Emmanuel Macron, because Macron seems to be in touch with Vladimir Putin. He might actually have some answers. Instead, you're coming to Thomas Tuchel to ask about a geopolitical conflict. What? Let it go, man. Let it go. Thomas Tuchel was in every right to flip out in the way that he did, and to the point where even, I don't know, flipping German started coming out. It got a bit tasty, I have to say. But Thomas Tuchel handled it absolutely spot on and absolutely perfectly. And in relation to the club and Roman and all that, again, Thomas Tuchel has nothing to do with that. He's not the club spokesman. You know, you want to try and find out what's going on with Roman. Now, again, ask the British government and see if there's any sanctions heading this way. Don't ask Thomas Tuchel. He's got nothing to do with this. Honestly, ridiculous. Some of the this is my thing, my gripe with the media sometimes, is that they like to pinch and they like to come at you with certain angles and agendas, and it's just ridiculous. And they come to people like Thomas Tuchel. What the hell has he got to do with it? Anyway, Thomas Tuchel handled it brilliantly, and thankfully we got some football questions in the end. So talking about the players that are out, which he did clarify, Ziyech is going to be out. He hasn't made it, so he won't feature. Chalobah had 6 stitches on his groin or his thigh, so he definitely won't be playing. Reece James is a doubt because he was only meant to play 20 minutes, but because Azpilicueta came off, he had to play 70 plus the rest, extra time, and, you know, flipping penalties and whatnot. So Reece James is probably going to be out. Azpi came off in that final, so he's going to be out. Christensen was absent from that game. He might not be available for this one. Who else am I missing? Because right now, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So trying to see who is going to be picked tomorrow. Well, in terms of training, Harvey Vale trained, Lewis Hall trained, Dylan Williams, who Chelsea only recently signed from Derby County, who's an under 18-year-old, signed, and he trained as well, so he might feature, although he's a left back, just like Lewis Hall, so I can't see both of them playing at the same time. But anyway, Dylan Williams did train with the first team, and some other faces, I mean, that you expect in a cup fixture like this, like Barkley and Saul and all those lot did train as well. Hudson-Odoi has actually come back, so he might be in contention. Talking about who I think is going to be picked, though, let's get into it, because I've tried to make wholesale changes here, and I've tried to pinpoint what I think Tuchel's going to do, and I have to say, I've struggled. Let's go through it. So, in goal, I do think Kepa is going to be getting the nod. I don't think Mendy will start this one. Mendy, by the way, I mean, if we're going to talk about that cup final, in hindsight, it's very easy now to look at it, even though all of us knew what was going to happen. But it's very easy now to come out and say Mendy should have done the penalty shootout as well. Right? Mendy had a world-class game against Liverpool. Absolutely fantastic, and has clearly cemented why he is the number one. Without a doubt. But Kepa came on with the tactic that we had in mind. Was it right? We thought it was. But again, it's something that the manager would be praised for. Everyone would be praised for if it worked like we expected it to, like it did in the past. When it doesn't work, you get the blame. So, look, it is what it is. But for this, against Luton, I think Kepa will be playing 90 minutes tomorrow. Mendy will have a little bit of a breather after the absolute stellar performance he put in against Liverpool. So we'll see what happens. Now, in terms of the centre-backs, I don't know what's going to happen here. Because, look, I've still got Silva and Rudiger, right? I'll go with a back four. I'm going with a back four. Christensen might not be available. If he is, I would start Christensen. But I don't know if he's available or not. Thomas Tuchel didn't actually go into detail. He said the list is long. We can't go through everything. If not, we'll be here all day. So we're just going to have to wait. So no one knows, really. Christensen might be available. If he is, I would play him. Chalobah's going to be out, so he can't fill in. Malang Sarr, who can play centre-back, well, we've got other priorities, so I don't think he'll be playing at centre-back. So right now, even if I want to rest Rudiger or Silva, Silva's 37. He's been playing game after game after game after game after game, and he's been fantastic. Does he play this as well? And then we got Burnley on the weekend. I wouldn't want to play Silva. I'd want to give him a breather, man. You've got to take his age into consideration here. So, again, who do we play? If Christensen is out, we actually can't change the back. We can't change the central defense pairing. We can't. It's gonna have to be these two. So we'll see. Anyway, let me know in the comments which defenders or which central defenders would you have if we had to rest any of these two. That I wish I could, and I'd like to be honest. But let me know in the comment section below. In terms of in terms of left back and right back, I've had to do this. I know you're probably watching right now thinking, Younes, you've lost the plot. You've lost the plot. And I haven't, I'll be honest. But Alonso played really well against Liverpool. Let's have it right. He had Salah in his pocket, as far as I'm concerned, except for a couple of moments. But it had Salah contained. Do we play him again against Luton? And then knowing that he might have to play against Burnley as well. Again, I don't want to do that. Lewis Hall, I think, can come in. He's trained. I think he can come in and play against Luton. I think that's a level for him that he can handle. But on the right-hand side, Aspie out. Reece James out. Chalobah out. And even Christensen, who might be able to play right-back, possibly out. We can't play anyone. So I've taken the only guy who has played in a right centre-back position before and has experience as a full-back because he plays quite well as a left-back, so screw it, stick him on the right. Malang Sarr. There's no one else. I've looked at the Chelsea squad. There's no one else that can play right-back. I don't even think he can play right-back, but he's our only hope. So I would go Malang Sarr. It's a very makeshift defence. We're struggling in numbers in terms of defence for this one. We'll see what Thomas Tuchel's going to pluck out of the bag. The rest of the team is actually quite straightforward to go with. So if we go into midfield, Jorginho, I think, is going to be starting this one. Kante and Kovacic, let's have it right. They can have a rest. Jorginho, especially with us playing against Luton, you expect us to have control of the game, more of the ball. We're going to be attacking. So it will suit Jorginho. He'll have loads of space, hopefully, anyway. Alongside Jorginho, someone that can hopefully take the ball, dribble about, link up, go a little bit more forward, is Saul. Some would go for Ruben Loftus-Cheek. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Ruben Loftus-Cheek. The only logic that I have in my mind is that Saul needs minutes. And Atletico, I'm sure, are going to be on the phone going, oi, can you get this player, can you get this brother playing, please? Like, we need him to, if you can fit him in, at least in a cup tie against Luton. Right? Because if he can't get into that, he can't get into anything. So I would go with Saul, and then we'll see what happens. But that partnership, I think, will be something we can work with, at least against Luton. Ahead of them, I thought about playing Barkley. That kind of scares me a bit, though, because it's Barkley. Now, against Luton, he might actually have a good performance, but it's Barkley. My own opinion, no. Now, this guy got loads of scrutiny on the weekend, and rightly so, correctly so. Mason Mount. Yeah, there's no way he should have missed what he missed against Liverpool. Absolutely no way. Absolutely no way. And it does begin to beg the question, you know, in terms of his level, where he is. Like, is he actually where everyone thinks he is? Or is there still a lot of work to do? In terms of everything that he offers, we know what he can do. But my goodness, his finishing, just like the other lads... What's going on, man? Because let's have it right. This guy gets compared with Frank Lampard quite a lot. I'll put it to you now, and I think all of you can remember. If Frank Lampard was in the position that Mason Mount was in that final against Liverpool, he would have probably scored a hat-trick. There's no way Lamps misses what Mason missed. No way. No way. And this is why I don't want to make comparisons. This is why I don't want to bring that whole Mason to flipping Frank Lampard, Lukaku to Drogba. Like, no, forget. Those legends are legends, and they're legends for a reason. Mount has a lot of work to do. I think against Luton, he'd be able to find his way. Because it's Luton, it's a championship side. We saw what Mason done for Derby County when he was on loan in the championship. And he found it quite, I don't want to say easy, but he found himself at home. So in terms of the level, I would play Mason Mount just to add some intensity to the game. But just for this, in terms of the Premier League, there are questions. There are questions. And whether whether we need to really analyze Mason Mount and maybe bring him down a peg. Not in terms of him, because I think he's serious and he's a professional and he knows what he's doing. But in terms of the fans' perception and everyone that thinks so highly of Mason Mount and his ability, maybe we might need to bring that down a little bit and bring ourselves back down to earth and not get carried away because it's Mason Mount and, you know, he's a fantastic talent from Cobham and he's English and all of that. Like, no, we don't need that. Mason Mount against Liverpool, big questions. Big questions. But tomorrow, against Luton, you'd think he will find his way and have an easy night at the office. So Mason Mount comes into that position, just in behind the striker. And again, because, would you rather him or Barkley? That's my logic for this one anyway. On the left-hand side, Harvey Vale. Now, Harvey Vale is more of an attacking midfielder, left winger, roughly. But when I look at the options that we have, I'd rather have Harvey Vale there rather than him play on the right and have Callum Hudson-Odoi on the left, because I would play Hudson-Odoi on the right in order to allow Harvey Vale to play on the left, which is his preferred side. So against Luton, that is what I would do. I think that's more sufficient enough. It should be. Enough threat there. And if we have to bring on a Pulisic, then we can. Or Kai Havertz, then we can. Or a Timo Werner, then we can. But up front, I thought about this long and hard. Now, I was going to put Timo Werner, but you know what? Screw it. We need thumbs up. We need thumbs up. We need thumbs. Show us the thumbs. Look, Lukaku up top. It's Luton. It's Luton, but at the end of the day, I think Luton are going to be quite defensive. I think Luton are going to try and pack out the box a little bit, and I just think with Lukaku's size, maybe he can allow some space for others to come in. I think with Timo Werner in a low block, he maybe against Luton, would he struggle? You never know. But against a low block, you just know Timo Werner sometimes is going to find himself point blank, and nothing probably will happen. With Lukaku, with Hudson-Odoi, Harvey Vale, maybe supplying to him, maybe he can just power himself through. You never know. Against Liverpool, he actually looked alright when he came on. Both him and Timo Werner looked good. I have to say, both of them looked good. But against Luton, who I know are going to defend, probably ultra defend, maybe Lukaku is the better option in this one. I wouldn't play Kai Havertz. I would rest him. He's done enough. Fantastic. And if he has to come on, he'll come on. But against Burnley as well, I'll probably bring Havertz back into the lineup. But for this one, screw it. Stick Lukaku and see what happens. But that would be my starting 11. And in terms of a score prediction, it's away from home. As I've already said, Kenilworth Road. I do think that it's not going to be as easy as some Chelsea fans think it's going to be, as I said at the start of this preview, but I am going to go with Luton. I want to say Luton 0, Chelsea 2. Let's just say Luton 0, Chelsea 2. Let's just go with that. I'm not going to go with something crazy. We're not going to batter them to pieces. I don't think we are, but I think we should get a comfortable win. See what happens, go to the quarterfinals, see who we face, and move on from there. But we'll wish Chelsea the best tomorrow. Good luck. And don't underestimate Luton. I will make that clear right now. I will make that. They're going to be up for it. It's a cup tie. Anything can happen. We need to have our heads switched on. And hopefully we do. Hopefully we've bounced back from the cup final loss against Liverpool. And we'll see what happens. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below in relation to who would you play, your score predictions, everything that I've spoken about in this video, your thoughts below, much appreciated. Hit the subscribe button if you are new, hit the notification bell to be notified once I've uploaded, smash the like button if you've enjoyed this, watch along for the game tomorrow, we'll be live on here, so make sure you're here for that one, and then I'll post my match review afterwards. So I'll see all of you tomorrow, have a good one people, see you then, take care, and peace.